Welcome back. I'm glad you decided to join us for another ride on this journey to make our voice known. I appreciate the likes and the subscriptions. Share these videos. We are starting a movement here to make sure the voice of the remnant, the voice of the believers are known, not just heard, but known. Today I want to talk about something that's very, very important, and that's the so-called Equality Act. I choose not to call it that because honestly, in the grand scheme of things, this is not equality. And honestly, there's no such thing as equality. I understand the concept, you understand what people do with language. They make it flowery to sound good. They change the language to make things sound really interesting and beautiful and accepting and welcoming so that everybody can get on board. But it's really a trick of the enemy. It's deceptive in its nature. And this Equality Act is at the top of that list. There's nothing equal about this. This exalts a small minority in their grievances and puts down the majority in their long-held traditional beliefs. What it is, honestly, is a power grab by the government. The government wants to tell you how to think. The government wants to drive your Christian values and your traditional values, the traditional American values, out of you. It wants to recondition you, like I talked about before in a previous video. It's conditioning. The same thing they've done with these COVID restrictions, they're doing it now, but on steroids with this Equality Act. It's a power trip. This Equality Act is an affront. It's offensive to the Civil Rights Act. It is really offensive. The Civil Rights Act was needed. It was necessary to overcome an evil in the society. This Equality Act, this is to actually force you to think a certain way, and it will punish you if you don't comply. Every person needs to be treated with dignity. That's not the point. This Equality Act doesn't do that. It makes discrimination the law of the land. It will give the government the power to dictate how you think about gender and sex. And I don't like using the term gender because that's pretty much a man-made thing. God created the sexes, male and female. There's no difference between the two. Now, I understand people may be confused about how they feel, but you are either a male or a female, period. This whole gender identity, relativism, and theology, which it is, it's a theology and belief in science, all of that is pushed on people. And also this bill, it violates our constitutional freedoms. You know, it violates your freedom of speech. It does. It violates your freedom of speech. You will be penalized if you don't uphold these beliefs. That's not freedom of speech. This is America. We have free speech. That's our First Amendment right. But this will penalize you if you choose to think contrary to the way that the government wants you to think. Again, I go back. It's all about conditioning. It's all about control. It's all about power. They want the power to tell you how to think. They want the power to control your life. They're using equality as a Trojan horse. They're using equality as a way to gain a foothold in your life and to dictate, to create a true nanny state to where you can't make decisions on your own. It has to be ordained by the government. And that's not America. And that's not freedom. So here's some of the other things that are in this Equality Act. It'll make it so to where men can be in women's locker rooms. I know a lot of people like to say that's a scare tactic, but that's reality. If you're like a woman and you're a man, you can go to a woman's locker room. Look, and it really does a disservice to the Civil Rights Act. Because like I said, the Civil Rights Act was enacted for true injustices. This Equality Act is a power grab. It's a violation of our civil rights, of our right to free speech. To be penalized because you think differently, that's not America. That's not America. So I encourage everyone that's listening to this video, contact your congressman. They're going to be voting on this pretty soon. Contact your congressman. You can go to this link here, house.gov. Find your congressman and woman. Let them know you are not on board with this Equality Act. They need to vote no on this. And if by chance it does pass, you talk to your senators. Go to this link here and you contact your senator and you tell them, no, I'm not on board with this Equality Act. It is ungodly. It is anti-American. This Equality Act is anti-American. It does not have the best interests of America at heart. It comes against religious freedom. There's no provisions in here for religious freedom. So if you think a certain way based on your beliefs, you'll be penalized for that. There's just a whole lot of things in this. And the sad part about it, it'll be punishable by law. So it's not like an ordinance that a city puts out or a recommendation. No, this will be law. And so if you disobey, you can be punished for it. That's not America. That's not America. It hurts women, especially in sports. Man, I have a daughter who plays volleyball. So let's say a guy thinks he's a girl and wants to try out for the volleyball team. If this passes, he could join and be on the team. How unfair is that? And we talk about equality. Where's the fairness in that? Doctors will be forced to perform sex change operations. I'm telling you, please contact your congressman and woman quickly, and contact your senator quickly. This is serious and needs to be addressed. Once again, you are not a victim, you are empowered for greatness.